Так, всем привет, мы в эфире. Так, я очень рада вас видеть всех. Сегодня у меня новая камера. Я слышу себя. Я знаю почему. Потому что YouTube у меня параллельно. Ну, я теперь и сама слышу, что все слышно. Меня хорошо слышно, я уже слышала сама. Так, я нахожусь, I am. Привет, Эвстюрейтер. Привет, привет, Кира. Привет, Фавио. Очень рада вас видеть. Я недавно пришла с улицы. И там холодно, на улице холодно, и теперь мне жарко. У меня такое часто бывает. Ну, я очень рада, что вы пришли в воскресенье, пришли на урок. Вы такие молодцы. И сегодня у нас очень интересная тема. Сегодняшняя тема – это Рождество. Рождество. Давайте посмотрим на слово Рождество. Рождество. Кстати, by the way, да, кстати, я забыла сказать с Новым годом! С Новым годом вас! Мне кажется, что прошлый урок был в прошлом году, да? Поэтому с Новым годом! Всех поздравляю! Привет, привет! Да, действительно, сегодня у нас гости. Это овца, наш первый гость, это овца. Эту овцу сделала моя подруга. Она делает такие игрушки. Такую овцу сделала моя подруга мне на Новый год. И она очень мягкая, эта овца. Я назвала эту овцу Соня. Соня, потому что она все время спит. Я назвала ее овечка Соня. Сейчас я вам напишу. Овечка Соня. Овечка Соня. Овца – это животное, овечка – это diminutive, да, cute way to say овца, овечка. Овечка Соня. Да, очень милая. Кстати, если вам нравятся такие игрушки, если вам нравятся такие игрушки, и у вас есть Vinted в вашей стране, Vinted, если есть, то вы можете заказать такие игрушки. Сейчас я попытаюсь найти. Ну, лучше я вам, может быть, скину ее Инстаграм. Сейчас я... Такая получилась реклама. Сейчас Инстаграм. Есть Инстаграм у нее. Эту мастерицу. Мастерица – это значит, кто делает что-то своими руками. Да, мастерица. Мастерицу зовут Мила. Мила. И у нее... Есть много других игрушек. Сейчас я найду ее Инстаграм и вам покажу. Так, Мила. Сейчас я ее найду. Да. Ее зовут Мила, и у нее есть такой специальный Инстаграм для этих игрушек. Где он есть? О май гад. I'm not good with Instagram from computer. Мне трудно на компьютере, потому что я привыкла на телефоне. Ну, я попробую еще разок, и мы начнем уже. Вот, я вам покажу. И там есть как раз моя овечка. Овечка Соня. Вот, если вам интересно, я вам сейчас отправлю. Вот, но я знаю, что она отправляет через Vinted, поэтому если в вашей стране нет Vinted, то это будет непросто, конечно. Вот. Ну, и представляете, эта игрушка, она knitted, it's knitted, knitted with, I don't know how it's called like crochet knitting. Сиди, Соня, ты все время спишь. I'm trying to make her sit, but she only wants to sleep. Ну, хорошо. Начинаем как раз сегодня говорить про Рождество. Сначала мы посмотрим, где же ленивец? Сначала мы посмотрим на слово. Это слово Рождество, да? Видите? Давайте посмотрим на слово, мы будем смотреть на слово, и мы будем догадываться, да, we will guess, мы будем смотреть на слово и будем guess, на какое слово похоже. So, from what word do you think the word Рождество comes? What similar words do you know in Russian that look like Рождество? And maybe we will get where this word comes from. Хорошо? Напишите, на какое слово похоже слово Рождество. На какое слово похоже, да? Может быть, вам кажется, что это Рождество похоже на какое-то слово, да? Как вы думаете, на какое слово похоже? На какое слово похоже? In Russian we say, like, on what word it reminds. Like, it looks like what word. На какое слово похоже? Например, вы знаете, как мы говорим? Ты похожа на маму. Катя, ты похожа на маму. А я вас спрашиваю, Рождество похоже на какое слово? Да, Дэвстюрейтер молодец. Родился. Мы знаем слово родился, Рождество. Но вы же знаете, наверное, на русском, когда у кого-то birthday, как мы говорим? У кого-то birthday, и мы говорим... Вспомните на русском, когда у кого-то birthday, как мы говорим? И это нам очень поможет сегодня, да? Это не так трудно. It's not that difficult. Вы увидите, you will see. Потому что когда у кого-то birthday, мы что говорим? Мы говорим день рождения. День, day of рождение is initial form, рождение, а мы говорим день рождения. Молодцы, Кира и Тейфсатюрейтер, молодцы. Рождение, день рождения. It means day of birth. So, рождение means birth. And the same with the word Рождество. It's just a little bit twisted, да? Рождение, Рождество. Sounds very similar. Yeah, looks very similar. Today I have new glass. The glass I bought so it fits to my earrings. I do have this one in blue, and now I have this one in orange. But I'll put it away because I almost knocked it off. Хорошо. Молодцы. Рождение. Итак, interestingly, Рождество means birth, and the word Рождество is only used for Christmas, for nativity, how do you say it, of Jesus Christ. So exactly this process of the birth of Jesus Christ is called Рождество. But when a random person is born, we would say рождение. Да? Итак, рождение ребенка, birth of child, рождение ребенка, но Рождество Иисуса Христа. Рождение ребенка, Рождество Иисуса Христа. И Как вы знаете, as you know, в России мы в основном, да, большинство православные, или можно сказать Orthodox, да? Православные или Orthodox. Это наша религия. Majority of Russians would be Orthodox. Но есть регионы, there are regions, в которых другая религия. Например, в Чечне главная религия – это мусульманство. In Chechnya it's ислам. И в других регионах тоже часто главная религия не православное христианство, а ислам. Например, насколько я помню, Казань, Татарстан, Казань, у них тоже религия мусульманства, но не христианство. Да? Но центральная религия, да, центральная, это, конечно, православное христианство, so Orthodox Christianity, exactly Orthodox Christianity. И это очень интересно, потому что, может быть, вы знаете, может быть, вы не знаете, maybe you know, you don't know, но я работала в церкви 8 лет, 8 years, for 8 years I worked in church, in Orthodox church. Поэтому я, знаю кое-что об иконах, I know something about icons, about holidays. И в православии, in ортодоксии, икона очень важна. Icons are very important. И сегодня мы посмотрим на иконы Рождества. Итак, иконы. I decided to take this topic today. Иконы Рождества. Иконы Рождества мы говорим Христова. Иконы Рождества Христова. Because there is also Рождество of his mom. Рождество. By the way, I just realized that Рождество is not only of Jesus Christ, but of any, let's say, religious, like saints or Mary the Virgin, who's not really saint, but very close to them, да? Рождество Богородицы. Давайте посмотрим. Итак, иконы Рождества Христова, I forgot S, and Рождество Богородицы. Богородица Бога родила. Бога родила. Родила, it means gave birth. Бога, God, gave birth to God. Interesting, yeah? Богородица. In Catholicism and Protestantism, we would say Mary the Virgin. Mary the Virgin, but in Orthodoxy, you would say Богородица. Person who gave birth to God. That's how we would refer to her. Богородица, Богородица. Мы говорим Дева Мария. We do say Mary the Virgin, but Богородица is a special way to refer to her, to maybe admit her did what she did, which is a miracle itself. We'll talk about it because the icon tells all about it. Итак, сегодня я вам покажу очень красивые иконы. Дайте я посмотрю. У меня есть тут. Да, вот тут мы начнем. Here we will start. I will share my screen. Present, share screen. Share screen with what? Сейчас мы посмотрим с вами. Итак, сейчас вы будете видеть. Мы начнем тут. Начнем здесь. Вот такая вот. Это первые две иконы. Вот такие вот. И они очень интересно. Знаете почему? Потому что вот я смотрю на них, I look at them, and I don't see Orthodox tradition in them. Вот это, мне кажется, католическая или протестантская икона. This one is for sure not Orthodox icon. And this one, interestingly, doesn't look like Orthodox. The one that is on the left doesn't look like Orthodox one. But it's written Рождество Христово as if it would be Orthodox Church. Such a mess here on this icon is happening. Сейчас мы посмотрим получше. Дайте-ка я, I will No, it's okay. I think the screen is good like this. Yeah, it's better than this. Or you would prefer this. This is better probably. Так лучше, так лучше. Итак, давайте посмотрим. Очень интересно, Фабио, что ты написал. Вау, очень красиво. Вот это вау, очень красиво. Это то, что нам не нужно. In Orthodoxy, we try to go far from emotions and feelings and go closer to the spirit. And spirit doesn't have wow, очень красиво. That's the main difference between, I would say, Western tradition in icon painting, like Protestant, Catholic icons, or the one vitrage, the one that are on windows, on glass. They they would be more emotional, and they would rather cause or initiate in us, causing us some kind of wow feeling, yeah? But that's not what happens when we look at Orthodox icons, because Orthodox icons, what they do, they show us the spirit and what is happening way deeper than emotions. Хорошо? Поэтому, that's why I'm saying this is for sure Western icon, and this one looks like Western, damn it, but the inscription is in Russian, and I see it, it's written Рождество Христово. But we will now look and compare these two that look more like paintings. We will compare them with real Orthodox traditional icon. Готовы? Ready? Поехали! Это православная икона. So this one is a real Orthodox icon. And I don't know if you can see it. Let me see this, if you can see it or not. But in the very bottom, can you see it? In the very, very bottom, there is an inscription. An inscription is in Old Slavic. Old Slavic, yeah? Так, Tevsurator, are you messing with my stream or something? Овца есть, действительно овца есть. Овца это sheep, да? А панды нет, да, панды нет. Не тот регион, не та страна. Давайте посмотрим на православную икону. Let's look at the Orthodox icon, and especially we'll look at this inscription. It's written Рождество, which means Рождество, Рождество. Then you see this ГДА, which means Господа. So birth of God, нашего, you can easily read нашего, нашего. And then it's written Иисуса Христа in Old Slavic. So Old Slavic looks a lot like modern Russian, but some letters seem different, like letter O in the word нашего. You see the O letter, the last one is very bizarre. Tell me if you see it really, or it's totally like blurry and you don't. Это интересно, это интересно. Вам видно, что написано? You can see what is written. So it's written the birth of our God, Jesus Christ. Да? So Old Slavic or Church Slavonic looks a lot like Russian, a lot like modern Russian, but it has some differences with, like, they would skip letters. Why they would skip letters? They would do it in the words that everybody knows. So imagine language that was created for church, especially this Church Slavonic, and the word Christos, Jesus Christos, was written so many times in the text, biblical text, that they would make it shorter to write it faster, because it's very, very common and everybody would recognize it. That's why what happens. No, that's why this happens. Итак, давайте теперь посмотрим на икону. Now let's look at the icon. Мы посмотрим на икону. Как вы видите, as you see, на православной иконе много всего, много персонажей, a lot of characters. Давайте посмотрим back. Тут кто? Мария, маленький Иисус, это, наверное, Иосиф, ее муж, да? И тут какие-то, maybe some shepherds or some people who came visiting, да? And another one, there are angels. 3 ангела, Мария и маленький Иисус, да? Это все персонажи. Only characters, yeah, that we see. Но в православной иконе много персонажей, да? Очень много. Давайте попробуем. Вы посмотрите на икону, look at the icon, и напишите, как вы думаете, кто тут? How do you think? Who is here? Кто? Any Russian word you know, look at the icon and try to come up with any Russian word for characters that you can guess, that you could guess and say, I think it's any, maybe a name of any animal that you see, maybe a name of, maybe somebody is close to religion and knows the real participants of events. Да, давайте напишем на русском, we will write in Russian, напишем на русском, кто есть на иконе. Да, такой вопрос. Кто есть на иконе? This is my question. Кто есть на иконе? Да? Кто есть на иконе? Тейп-сатюрейтор пишет много ангелов, a lot of angels, yeah, genitive, plural, и лошадей, and a lot of horses. Да, Кира тоже заметила лошади. Кира тоже видит horses. Угу, отлично. Итак, ангелы, очень хорошо. Лошади, очень хорошо. Правда, мы видим ангелов, мы видим лошадей, да? Что еще? Молодец, Фавио. 3 мудреца. Давайте я покажу. 3 мудреца. Вот они приехали на лошадях. They came on horses. They are on the left. 3 мудреца. 3 wise men. Were they magicians? Were they astrologists? As we say, the story keeps it a secret. Потому что there are many interpretations, много интерпретаций, но точно мы не знаем, we can't say for sure, да, who they were. Они были маги, или они были просто умные люди, just simply wise men, или, может быть, они были астрологи, да. Мы спрашиваем, маги, астрологи. Why do we think that there were astrology? Because they came, as you remember, looking at the star. So they saw the star. Они увидели звезду. Увидели звезду и поняли and realized that this star signalizes the birth of Jesus Christ. New, as they say, new царь, новый царь, новый царь, новый царь земли. That's what they knew. И они пришли, они по звезде шли. По звезде шли, it means they followed the star. Как по дороге, да, идти по дороге, они шли по звезде. They followed the star. Угу. Да, они принесли подарки, молодец, текстурейтер. Они принесли подарки. Они принесли подарки, да? Кто еще пришел? Пришли мудрецы, а с другой стороны, let's look at different side, с другой стороны тут. Знаете, кто здесь пришел? Вот тут. Или вот они, мудрецы. Maybe here there are these wise men. I think I mixed up. These ones look like wise men. Who are these guys then? I'm starting to be a little bit lost on this icon. No, I think these are wise men. Это мудрецы, as I said there on the left. And here I think it's simple people, more simple people. I'm sure of it. As far as I remember from church. Давайте догадаемся. Let's try to guess. Кто с другой стороны? Who is on the other side? So, на одной стороне мудрецы, маги, да, 3 мудреца, а на другой стороне, на правой стороне иконы, кто это? Спасибо, Фабио, I'm really glad that you are enjoying it. Я рада, что интересно, я очень рада. Итак, ребята, как вы думаете, how do you think, who is on the other side? Have you heard the story? Мария и Иосиф пришли в пещеру, да, пещера is a cave, пещера, они пришли в пещеру, they came to the cave. Почему? Потому что они пришли в другой город. They came to the city, Вифлеем, which is called. They came to the city where Иосиф, husband of Maria, was born. And there was so-called counting people, singing, coming, passing. Yeah, it was taking place. And they had to go to their native city where they were born to participate in this thingy where they count people. И там не было места в гостинице. So all the hostels, hotels, or what was it in these ancient times were full. Но Мария была очень беременна. She was really pregnant, very pregnant. И поэтому они искали место, they were searching for a place, где ей рожать, or we even can say, где родить, where to accomplish the thing of giving birth, где родить. When I say где рожать, it means where to participate in this process, да? where to do this process, or when we say где родить, it means where to accomplish giving birth. Итак, они искали и нашли эту пещеру, and they found this cave. И были очень рады, they were really happy. Почему? Because пещера, it protects them from, at least from like wild animals. Это очень хорошо, да? Пещера защищает, protects. И в пещере, damn it, I'm a little bit sick. В пещере Мария родила. Мария родила, while Иосиф was going, trying to find help. So a woman helps her to give birth, like takes care of her, yeah, makes sure she is okay, makes sure she doesn't bleed to death. You know, at these times, everything was very sensitive. Medicine was not very developed. So Иосиф пошел, it means went, искать помощь, he went to search for help. А Мария в это время, in this time, Мария родила, she gave birth. Он вернулся, Иосиф, а Мария уже родила. Когда он вернулся, он увидел Марию и ребенка, да? I also thought they've stated that they are fancily dressed, but no, I don't think so. I think they are это shepherds who, let's look at the other icon. I wanted to show you other icons. This is a classic one. Это икона Андрея Рублева. Very well known. Андрей Рублев – это великий русский иконописец и просто художник, да? I don't know if you do know Andrei Rublev, but he is a very great Russian icon painter, and also he is a great Russian painter overall. И это очень старая икона, it's a very old icon. Right now it is in one of the churches in Moscow. I think it's in Moscow Kremlin, one of the churches in Moscow Kremlin. И есть мнение, there is an opinion, что эта икона не была написана Андреем Рублевым, that this icon wasn't really painted by Andrei Rublev himself, но его учеником, была написана его учеником, one of his apprentice, his students, let's say. И здесь на иконе, интересно, ангелы, вот они, ангелы, и здесь, мне кажется, пастухи, shepherds, здесь. А вот здесь мудрецы, here, on horses. On horses we see this мудрецы, три мудреца. А это пастухи, shepherds. Это ангелы, тут тоже ангелы. Да, давайте посмотрим еще на другую икону. Это очень старая икона. И мне кажется, это не российская икона. Это икона, возможно, болгарская, from Bulgaria. Bulgaria, as far as I remember. Мне кажется, я посмотрю. Let me see. Я посмотрю, I would make sure. To make sure, what is this icon? Bulgaria. Yes, it's 18th century, 18th. Bulgaria. Do you say Bulgaria? Болгария на русском. 18 век Болгария. Фавио, задавай вопрос. What is the question? Задавай твой вопрос. Go ahead, as we say. Это икона Болгарии, and this icon is also clearly Orthodox icon because it doesn't look like a painting, but looks more like an icon compared to the ones we looked at in the very, very, very beginning. Итак, да, рожать, рожать. There is a pair of verbs. Рожать, родить. Рожать, родить. Рожать will be imperfective and родить will be perfective. Рожать to be in the process or to do it regularly. Например, она рожает каждый год. Every year she gives birth. Да? Теперь родить. Она родила вчера. She gave birth accomplished yesterday. Once. Родить. And look at the verb рожать and родить. They have ж, д, switch of consonants. But both verbs do have the form рож, with ж. Look, the verb родить, perfective. But when I say about me, perfective, let's say, I will give birth. Я рожу, я рожу. You see, in first conjugation we have ж, but ты родишь. Я рожу, I will give birth. Ты родишь, you will give birth. So these verbs do have ж, д, switch, let's say, but they both use ж and д. Она постоянно рожает. Я часто рожаю. Вот ты рожаешь, она рожает. The verb рожать has ж pattern, and the verb родить has the pattern first, very first conjugation. Я is with ж. Я рожу, but ты родишь, он родит, они родят, мы родим, вы родите. You see, д. Хороший вопрос, it's a very good question, because these verbs do cause troubles. Но мы продолжаем. We are going forward. И действительно, you are right, совершенно другой стиль. It's a different style, да, of the icon. This is Bulgarian one. They use, I would say they use these dark colors, but the colors are still very, very vivid. Yeah, vivid colors. And notice that their shepherd looks Bulgarian. This shepherd doesn't really look Russian or Slavic or anything. Because the icon is, you see, the icon itself is Bulgarian. Дальше. Это очень старая икона Сербия. It's a Serbian icon. Because Serbia is also Orthodox. Orthodox Christians are in Serbia. И тут тоже много всего, да. Ангелы. Плохо видно, because it's фреска. You know, it's made on the wall. Фреска. Ангелы, по-моему, мудрецы вот тут, здесь, на конях, again, on horses, Мария, Иисус, животные вот тут, животные, да, we see it all. Давайте посмотрим на эту, какая красивая, это грузинская икона, this one is Georgian one, I think it's the most cheerful one, грузинская икона. Yeah, sorry, didn't answer your question. Yeah, we do use it for people and animals. Например, моя собака вчера родила. My dog gave birth yesterday. Или кошка родила, да? Кошка родила тоже gave birth. Да, конечно. Для людей, для животных. Sorry, I forgot to answer. Хорошо, что ты мне напомнил. Very good that you reminded me. Да. Спасибо. Вам нравится икона грузинская? Do you like the Georgian one? Notice, заметьте, all the inscriptions are in Georgian language. Here, all is in Georgian. Грузия. На грузинском. Тоже смотрите, 3 мудреца. Это Иосиф. Это пастух. This one is shepherd. Ангелы. Мария. Здесь маленький Иисус, little Jesus, и животные, да? As we say, the full package of characters. Обратите внимание, pay attention. Обратите внимание, pay attention. Иосиф, как вам кажется, what do you think? Иосиф, он рад или он не рад? Вот try to find an adjective that would describe Иосиф. Try to find an adjective that would describe Joseph. Иосиф. How does he feel, do you think? Как Иосиф себя чувствует? Он что, устал? Да, устал, это tired. Он устал? Let's try to find an adjective for him. We will look at this icon and let's look at one more. What did I do? I did something. Something that I didn't want to do. Так, может быть, он устал. Давайте посмотрим на другую икону. We will see other icon. Тут. Or it's the last one. Yeah, the last one. Я вам здесь покажу Иосифа. Он здесь еще, тут. Плохо видно. Здесь тоже есть Иосиф, вот тут. Why do we see мамонтенка together, all together? It's just I use the same document. Подождите. I think it's a bug. Да, это был баг. Давайте тут посмотрим. Let's look here. Иосиф внизу, да, внизу он одет в зеленое. Это он, это Иосиф. Он внизу, да. Как вы думаете? Устал, устал. Do you have any more ideas about his condition? Устал или может быть что-то еще? Может быть он устал ходить. Maybe he's really tired of walking. Может быть еще идеи? Do you have any other ideas? Иосиф задумчивый, да, выглядит каким? Выглядит задумчивым. We would use here я выгляжу plus instrumental case, выглядит задумчивым. Я выгляжу задумчивой, да, if it's feminine word, выгляжу задумчивой. It's an adjective that we conjugate here. Выглядит каким? Выглядит задумчивым. Действительно, он думает, и это правильно. It's closer than устал to the truth. Я вам сейчас скажу, что с Иосифом. What's going on? What the heck is with Иосиф? We will see. In fact, как вы знаете, Иосиф не отец ребенка. He is not the father. Мы знаем, Иосиф не отец ребенка. Иосиф женился на Марии, Иосиф married Мария, но это не его ребенок, it's not his child, потому что у Иосифа и Марии не было интимных отношений. They didn't have any intimacy. Yeah, they didn't have any intercourse to get pregnant. Да? Поэтому Иосиф очень удивился. He was surprised. Когда Мария забеременела, when she got pregnant, he was really surprised. But he even got more surprised when she gave birth. Because first he thought, maybe she simply has, I don't know what, eats too much or something. Or it's gas. Who knows? But turns out she was pregnant. И поэтому Иосиф очень задумчивый. He is thinking, он действительно задумчивый. He's thinking, was she faithful? Was she faithful to me? Was she faithful? That's his main question. И на иконе, interestingly, look at the Orthodox icon, на иконе we do see it. We do see his struggle. We do see his struggle as a human being. Was she faithful? Or is it a miracle? And we see this old person approaching him. It symbolizes devil. It symbolizes dark forces, devil, who tries to tell him she was not faithful. Where do you think the baby popped out from? Things like this. И поэтому Иосиф много думает. He is thinking a lot. И я вам расскажу интересный факт. It's an interesting fact about Orthodox icons. Очень интересный факт. На иконе можно видеть разные события. So, the icon is of the birth of the Christ. Yeah, but the things that are happening on the icon were sparsed in the time. They didn't happen at the same time. You can see Mary the Virgin in the very center with the baby Jesus, but also In the bottom right, there is also again baby Jesus. You see him? It's him again. And it's another thing that is happening when we wash the child, probably. The washing of the newborn. And you see, the icon shows different events because the three magicians, three mudреца, they didn't come right away. Yeah, they weren't the first who came there. The first were shepherds. Then some time has passed, yeah, and the others came. But in this icon, we see all the things that happened kind of in the same time, but they didn't, yeah, because they are related to the same event. They are related to the event of giving birth, the event of birth, miraculous birth. Поэтому иконы, icons in Orthodoxy, exactly in Orthodox Church, they are not just paintings. They are books, like books telling a story. They are painting stories, and they have a lot of symbols. One of which I will discover it for you and I will tell you. Jesus, as you see, is kind of packed in white cloth. Он укутан, мы говорим укутан, kind of packed. Он укутан. And this white cloth symbolizes not only like purity, white symbolizes purity, but also people who died, they would look similarly. So it already shows us that he will be dead at some point, that he will suffer, that he will go through this horrible, that he will be killed, yeah? He will go through this horrible events. Cross and Golgotha and stuff like this. Итак, Fabio, as far as I know, God himself spoke to Joseph in dreams that the boy was the Son of God. Yeah, I've heard about in Orthodox Christianity. I thought it was an angel, but maybe it was God, who said, don't fear, Iosif, your wife is pure, and what happened to her happened purely, so she remained pure, yeah? Because you know that he married her simply to protect her, so she's not alone, because at this ancient times, women couldn't be alone. It was impossible. It's not like nowadays when women can easily manage alone. But in that old times, if he would say that she probably, he thinks, she cheated on him, if he would address it, imagine, she could be killed. She could be judged and simply killed for this, because it was a huge sin. And so he didn't say anything, but inside him, inside himself, he was not sure. Yeah. Итак, сегодня мы посмотрели на эти иконы, это очень интересно, да? А теперь давайте поговорим немножко. Let me stop sharing. We will a little bit talk about Рождество itself. Итак, напишите мне, может быть, вы знаете, когда в России, или не только в России, или другие православные, other Orthodox, когда православные христиане празднуют Рождество. Когда, да, саван, очень хорошо. The thing that he was packed in looks like savan, and savan is thing for dead. Молодец. Итак, когда православные христиане празднуют, celebrate, да, Рождество. Рождество. Это мой вопрос вам. Когда православные христиане празднуют Рождество? Такой вопрос. Когда, when exactly, да, когда православные христиане, Orthodox Christians, празднуют Рождество? Вы знаете, когда? Потому что католики и протестанты празднуют в декабре, 25 декабря, да, правильно, мы все знаем об этом. А когда же празднуют православные христиане? Знаете ли вы, do you know the date, the actual date? Напишите, если вы знаете, Если вы не знаете, я вам скажу. If you don't know, I will tell you. И я немножко расскажу о рождественских традициях. Да, действительно, 7 января, we can say simply в январе, if you want to say only a month, в январе, or we can say 7 of January, да? 7 января. 7 января. Действительно, это так. Но мы празднуем ночью с 6 на 7, from 6 to 7 at night. Да? Именно ночью мы верим, что Христос родился ночью, и поэтому служба, the whole Orthodox thing, is going on at night. И я помню, and I remember, когда я работала в церкви, when I worked in church, мы праздновали Рождество ночью. I participated in this night prayer. Yeah, night, very, very festive, очень праздничная служба, да? Праздничная служба проходит, takes place, праздничная служба проходит ночью с 6 на 7 января. Праздничная служба в церкви. Служба, it means service in church, да, служба в церкви. И интересно, что в России, in Russia, немного людей религиозные, not many people are religious, not many people are religious, но те, кто религиозные, but those who are religious, они обязательно идут на ночную службу, обязательно. At least a religious person and even non-religious would go twice in a year to church. Even people who don't really go to church every, let's say, every Sunday or every month, they would always go 2 times. Almost any Russian would try to go for Easter and for Christmas. More people would come for Easter, it's the main holiday, and Christmas is second main in Orthodox Church. Итак, хотя бы раз в год, хотя бы at least раз в год, русский человек идет в церковь. At least once in a year, I don't know why, but even non-believers, they would go once a year to church just because it's a tradition from Soviet times when religion was killed. Parents would keep this Easter feel and it's related to church. Even if they couldn't go to church during Soviet times, when Soviet times were done in 1991, they would go to church, they would start over all these traditions, yeah? Например, моя семья, my family, моя семья не религиозная, we were never religious, my parents, I mean. Но все-таки на Пасху, for Easter, my mom would mention we should take our bakery to church, the things that we baked, because they will make it holy, or to take holy water from church. So it would come up from time to time, but yeah, we were not religious. And что же еще я хотела сказать? What else did I want to say? Рождество – это очень веселый праздник, светлый. I would even say, in my personal feel, that Рождество is much brighter and much joyful than Easter, more joyful than Easter, more joyful. Because when Jesus was born, we knew that we will be saved by him, yeah, when he was born. But when Easter happened, first tragic events have happened. And that's why, or I should say tragic events had happened. That's why Easter has darker feel, undertone, but it's a very joyful holiday because we were all saved. But Christmas has purely joyful spirit, purely joyful. It's an incredible feel, you know, like very, very, very pure, purely joyful. In Orthodox religion, is it considered a sin not to assist to church each Sunday? Not at all. I would tell you like this. I was in church for 8 years. And of course, I would go almost to every service. Sometimes it was every day during the week, but of course Sundays, every Sunday I would go. But there were people who would go, let's say, once a month on a Sunday, and it's enough, because you are supposed to go to church to confess, because Orthodox Christians, they confess and then they uh, participate in this very sacred thing, which in Catholicism is changed. In Catholicism, you take only body of the Christ, and the Protestants are the same. But Orthodox people take body and blood, which is, I think it's only in Orthodoxy you have it, like piece of bread as body and wine as blood. It's given to you every Eucharistia, every time you get body and blood. But in Catholicism and Protestantism, you never get blood, as far as I know, which is bizarre, because we all know that during the Last Supper, Jesus himself said, "Take my body and my blood." He did say body and blood. So why do Catholics and Protestants don't get the blood? Are they not special enough for this? Because I do know that priests do get blood, but ordinary people don't. And that's one of the differences between Western Church and Eastern Church, Orthodox Church. Because in Orthodoxy, they stick closer to traditions and they are stricter overall. For example, in Western Church, there was practice of, only priest takes blood. A priest takes blood in during Eucharistia, not people, but in Orthodoxy it's not the same. And interesting thing also, that in Western Church there was this practice of paying to, so your sins are forgotten. Like you pay and you buy off, or you pay off for your sins. I don't know how to call it, but this practice, this thing, this tradition is quite bizarre, and it never existed in Orthodoxy. So before the church was common, and then when they had disagreements, like Westerners said, should we take money to forgive people's sins? And Orthodoxy said, no, we shouldn't. That's when they went different ways and all the differences started to occur. I don't know it in details. I do know some things, what I've heard in church. And it seemed always bizarre to me that in Western religions, Christian religions, ordinary people don't get any access to blood of Jesus, which was by him ordered to be taken. Yeah? Это странно. It's very strange. Ну да ладно, but it's okay. Но я могу сказать, what I can say, answering your question, даже если, даже если человек приходит в храм, в церковь, it means to church, в храм, it means temple, and церковь, it means church. Итак, даже если человек приходит только один раз в год, even in a year, priest would say, so confess your sins that you think you accumulated during this year, and you may have Eucharistia, because as priests say, the times are tough and people less and less are able to assist in church in the ceremony, in the service, because Orthodox services last very long. It's like 3 hours of service. And don't forget, in Orthodox Church you don't sit, you stand. You stand 3 hours in a row. You can be pregnant, you can be a child, you can be a little child, you can have children, and you still stand for 3 hours. It's very, very difficult, and I experienced it myself. Because when I was pregnant and then I had Kostya, my son, we would participate in the whole thing, whole 3 hours, up to his age of 5, for 5 years. And before, when I wasn't even pregnant, I would participate a lot. I would say Orthodoxy is not for pussies. Orthodoxy is for tough people. The rules are tough. The service itself is very tough. Also the Lent, the strict periods are very tough. Yeah, you see, Tevsurator, you've been on Orthodox funeral as a kid. Yeah, you stand. And funeral, it doesn't last long compared to average, let's say, liturgia average would be 3 hours. And the funeral exactly in church would last maximum an hour, maximum. But as a kid, it's a lot. Yeah, you felt it as a lot because you were a child. And children don't have a lot of patience. Да. Ну что ж, я надеюсь, I hope, что было интересно. I really hope that it was interesting. Увидимся в следующее воскресенье, hopefully. Надеюсь. You see, I always say, if everything is okay, yeah, we see each other. We will agree on it. We would have lessons every Sunday, unless something comes up, yeah? Do you have to collaborate while mass service? You mean donate money? No, not at all. In Orthodox Church, there is you enter. There is a place where they sell candles, icons, and like crosses. Like even not Orthodox, every Russian would have a cross. Normally, you know, when you are baptized, when you are a child, they would give you a cross. And some people, you know that all the Russians are baptized. We feel that it protects our children, so we baptize them even if we are not Orthodox. You could see in your country, Russian people, they do wear crosses. On the beach in summer, you will see people with crosses. They are Orthodox. You will be sure. Because, привет, Габриэль. Мы уже заканчиваем. We are about to finish this lesson. Но ничего страшного. It's okay. Уже час прошел. Already an hour has passed. И сегодня мы говорили про Рождество. Today we were talking about Christmas. Ну что ж. And so, where they sell candles, you can buy a candle and this way you donate. You can buy a cross for your child, this way you donate. But there is no things to donate or people trying to collect money. It's much more relaxed than Orthodox Church. But you do pay for wedding in church, for baptism, крещение, we call it крещение. When you baptize your child, you pay for it, for the wedding, of course, for the funeral. It's not really funeral. It's when priest prays for the dead. Yeah, it's not the whole process of funeral, but they would temporarily bring the body to church, or priest could come to the cemetery, right straight to the cemetery and read this to pray. And normally priest would come with at least one person who would sing, choir, like a part of choir. And that's how it happens. In Orthodox tradition, we do have, I think it's the same in Catholicism also, prayers when person dies. И давайте напоследок, lastly, я вам покажу икону. I will show you an icon, because here in Kosta's room there are a lot of icons. Kosta likes icons, and Kosta is a believer. I believe he's a believer. Я вам покажу. Let me grab it. I do have. Okay. Итак, so я вам покажу икону, which is a handmade icon. Вот она. Посмотрите. Эта икона handmade. Мне ее подарил дядя Кости, uncle of Kostya, offered to me this icon, and he made it himself from a piece of wood. He just took a piece of wood like this, took some tools and made this icon. And interestingly, here he put MR, which means Mater, mother, and here Mater Божья, like Mother of God. Here you can see, and you can see that it's Mary the Virgin and little Jesus. И эта икона сделана своими руками, made, handmade, what can I say? And we, Orthodox Christians, if they read some literature, they would know that this type of icon would remind of I think, not sure, Казанская икона, where Jesus is like standing, kind of standing. We see him standing. And let me see, to be sure. Because you see, in different Russian cities would be their own style of icon of Mary the Virgin with the baby Jesus. In Kazan, it's Kazanskая икона. Kazanskая икона was known that it protected the Kazan, the city. Let me see. Казанская икона, very known. Казанская икона Божьей Матери, and it looks, I guessed, it looks exactly like this. You see? The type of icon, this type of icon is called Казанская икона. So, according to, you see, according to the rules, and let's just compare it so you get what I mean. Казанская икона would look this way, and we just compare it with any other one. There is also Смоленская икона. Смоленская. And it will be different. It will be with Jesus on his mother's arms. You see, on the arms like this. More, Смоленская is different. I'm not really an icon painter. So Smolenskaya would look like this. Yeah, we see Jesus full size. And notice also one thing about Orthodox icons. If you look at Jesus, you would say he is like a small adult. He doesn't look like a child. Compared to Western icons, where Jesus looks like a baby, like infantile baby, yeah? But here we see that he's God. He's not just a baby. He looks like adult. He is God. That's why he looks like adult. I hope it focuses. Это у нас Смоленская икона. Какая еще есть икона? I will not finish this stream today because it's very interesting, yeah? Есть разные иконы Божьей Матери. Есть такая икона Божьей Матери, которая называется «Неупиваемая чаша». And this icon, «Неупиваемая чаша», I will show it to you, you will be surprised. It has, it has Mary the Virgin like this and Jesus in some kind of cup. It's not focusing right, but it will. And you see, it's called неупиваемая чаша. Чаша means this cup, чаша. And this icon is used by Orthodox Christians to pray for alcoholics or drug addicts. It helps with addictions. So if it happens that you have an addiction, you can buy this icon. And it helps spiritually, yeah? So that Orthodox people believe. Traditionally, it looks like this. It looks exactly this way. Yeah, you will recognize it's Mary the Virgin with her hands like this. You would recognize this icon. And if you type «Неупиваемая чаша», you will see this icon everywhere, but it looks more or less the same. Yeah, you see? So there are different icons which are canonic, like controlled by, let's say, there are laws of icon painting. And every icon has its laws, its rules how to paint it, yeah? Это неупиваемая чаша. And you can even read it, неупиваемая чаша. You can read it in the very corner of the icon. It's written in Old Slavonic, неупиваемая чаша. I found it. Ну, все. Теперь уже я закончила. Now I'm done. Да. Увидимся в следующее воскресенье. Всем спасибо. И пока. Спасибо за участие. И спасибо за ваше время. Thank you for your time. Because I know that on a Sunday, not everybody is free. Пока. Sometimes even I am not free on a Sunday.